believe in comms and the value of it, because there really hasn't been a lot of innovation. We've been largely ignored. We're in such a different world where it used to be like your resume and what college you went to and whatever, all these other things mattered, who your recommendations are. Now you can show your work and blow somebody's mind.
Probably going to be a small elite number of people coming out of school, out of really good schools, that have this robot wrangling ability that can instantly plug in and then kind of help get the organization they join up to a better, higher, more sophisticated level of operational savviness.
The agency model is really tough. It's margin constrained, quality is dilutive. You want to grow, we got to bring on more staff, and the client wants you.
But I think there's going to be a whole metric shit ton of average Joes coming out of average colleges that just don't have the chops, and they're going to find themselves working at retail places until retail places close. That's going to be the reality.
Welcome to Under Embargo, the podcast that says the quiet part out loud about PR, communications, and the chaos in between. Hosted by two of LinkedIn's most connected comms pros, Becca Chambers, a no-BS corporate comms exec with raging ADHD, and Parry Hedrick, founder of tech PR firm Crackle PR. This show brings it all. Real talk, sharp insights, and the kind of industry truths they don't put in press releases. No fluff, no filters, no fucks given. This is Under Embargo. Let's get into it.
Welcome to today's episode of Under Embargo. I am Becca Chambers, CMO at Scale Venture Partners, joined as always by my, we'll go with sarcastic sidekick, co-host and founder of Crackle PR, Parry Hedrick.
Hey now.
Today, we are joined by a former comms pro turned founder and CEO who has built an AI platform specifically for comms people, which is very exciting. Michelle has worked on the agency side, in-house for B2B brands, B2C brands, VC, and now is the founder and CEO of her own company, Honeyjar. I'm really excited to jump into this conversation because nobody cares about comms people and nobody builds tools for us, but you do and you get us. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Baby's first podcast here. So love to come on first.
I failed to actually say your full name, which is Michelle Masek. Is that right?
That works. Yeah, Michelle Masek. No, it's good. It's
Masek.
good here.
So I'll just interject here. It's good to see you, Michelle. We said hello briefly before we got on the air. Michelle and I, 15 years ago or so, worked at the same agency, Shift Communications. And we had a little overlap in terms of our clients, but it's interesting because I have not talked to her since then. And it is good to see her now in a very aspirational and pretty exciting role.
Thank you. Well, I remember you. I wouldn't expect you to remember me. I was kind of in the masses learning the fundamentals, but I do remember Parry.
I think you're saying I'm old. Is that
I was just about to say that. And what I hear is Parry is very
and skilled, the best.
Yes. So let's cut right to it. So I am on the early waiting list for Honeyjar. I signed up when I first saw you guys announce a seed round, I think at the end of last year. And I don't believe I've seen anything come across the transom yet in terms of what you guys are actually doing, but I would love for you to just spend a couple minutes telling us what Honeyjar is, and then obviously we'll have a billion questions relative to that space, why now, why it's different, blah, 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 blah.
Great. Okay. Yeah, I'll take you in the way back too, because it's a story of I vibe coded so hard I became a tech bro. That's what it feels like. But yeah, no, just the way back on Honeyjar. So, I was doing comms. I was at Ev Williams' VC firm, Obvious Ventures, and it was one of those things where, I've kind of seen it from all vantage points, from agency, from in-house, and now consulting with a portfolio of 110 founders who are asking me questions like when to do PR, who to do PR with, how to do an embargoed announcement, like how to find the right reporters. And so that was just feeling really fragmented and like, why is there not a better way? And then I was actually working with my PR team at the firm to come up with a thought leadership plan for 7 VCs, which is like 7 products to launch. And we were bouncing around LLMs to try to find speaking opportunities. We were looking at newsletters, RSS feeds. We were in WhatsApp groups. And it was actually my co-founder, Nadia Jamshidi, who said, there has to be a better way. And we looked around, we're like, no one's really cared about us in tech. It's almost like kind of a symptom of the fact that, do people really even believe in comms and the value of it? Because there really hasn't been a lot of innovation. We had been largely ignored. And I'm looking around and I'm like, well, you've got Figma for creatives. You've got this ecosystem that brings in all these stakeholders. And you've got Harvey for lawyers. You've got these really smart uses of applied AI. Like, why is no one messing with this in a really detailed way? Like, why can't I make a visibility calendar with agents? Like, why do briefing documents still take me 90 minutes? And that started our obsession with, in the midnight hours, really trying to vibe code. What would it look like to build Honeyjar? So I'm happy to get into all that. But fast forward, we did an Axios article in December just to kind of say, hey, we're here, we're doing a thing. And the reception was shocking. It was kind of a cobbler without the shoes moment, where you do launches for clients and for companies for your entire career. And sometimes you see a download moment, or sometimes you see like a little, a move. We had the whole comms industry show up on that wait list overnight. We had over 10,000 signups of solo pros, agencies, in-house teams. We have like 4 airlines on there. And so Nadia and I spent the holidays with our team really prioritizing kind of how are we going to roll this out. And so fast forward to March, this week, we started bringing agencies in. So Perry, you're coming off the wait list. You're going to hear first. But we've had about a dozen solo pros in the platform, testing, squashing bugs with us, kind of getting early magic going. And yeah, we're excited about this rollout because we've been dying to get to the full industry.
So it launches in this month, like it's happening now.
Yeah, now you're actually going to get the email. So for us, it was really important we built Honeyjar in single player mode, which means you go into Honeyjar, you set up your clients or your brand, and you essentially work one-on-one with our system of agents to do things like make media lists, to build briefers, to make visibility calendars, to do press materials, et cetera. Meanwhile, we were aggregating LLMs. We have 4 integrated today. So we were making the product better and better and better. And so now we're going to go from single player to multiplayer, which means you can work like you would on a comms team, right? We are all swarming the press release. We're all swarming the docs. There's review cycles. And we wanted to hold on going to agencies until we had that multiplayer function, because we know that it's so important to have agents that actually operate like comms teams do.
Sure.
So that's the moment we're at now. Really exciting.
Wow. Is there, and I'm sorry, Becca, just to keep steamrolling here with questions, but is there an actual launch date?
So, I mean, it's been a rollout. So you're all on the wait list.
Okay.
The launch is you're going to get an email from yours truly. Like, it's not automated, where I say, come on in and you can activate and go for it. But we are going to do a public launch. We've started to contract with some pretty well-known agencies. So, we're PR people. Of course, we're going to do some PR.
That's what I'm saying is, what? You're just going to send an email? That's it?
Yeah, no, right now it's all about early access, getting agencies in. We want to make sure you love it. And yeah, there's going to be a scream from the rooftops moment. I shouldn't say more. Stay tuned. But we're going to announce with some agencies in the coming months.
Cool.
Very nice. And okay, so then I guess the next logical question, and something I'm curious, is how, why I got the we need the tool, but why did you feel like I can go build a company? Because I think that I've never met a comms person who has become a founder and CEO. And that is so awesome, because we are very perfectly oriented to be CEOs. So I would love to hear kind of your origin story as CEO and founder.
I would agree that as comms pros, we are well-oriented toward going into leadership and taking risk and communicating early and often, and all the things that we train our clients on. We embody those skills. So this is transition from me behind the scenes to in the front. But my journey has been one where my entire career, I suppose I've been wearing a comms and marketing suit, but I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. And I did found an agency, Good Nature Ventures, and it was a small shop, and I loved and I had just such thirst for driving business, dealing with client issues. Like, I didn't mind being the one throat to choke. I actually was very comfortable in that position. And the reality was, when running that agency, which was my first leadership, role, I'm CEO and founder, I had an opportunity to take it much bigger. But I got to be honest, I don't like the agency model. The agency model is really tough. It's margin constrained. Quality is dilutive. You want to grow, you got to bring on more staff, and the client wants you. And, I looked around the landscape and I was like, I'm going to figure out what all the other agencies out there haven't figured out. Like, I'm going to figure out how to unconstrain this model. And no, I ran into the same challenges as I looked to scale up on clients. And so I actually closed Good Nature, not because we weren't doing well, but because I just didn't see what really excites me, which is infinite scale. So where does infinite scale happen? SaaS tech companies, right? These are the clients that I've served over the years. Lookout, Eventbrite, Imager, and dozens of others, where you got to see how a product or a marketplace that lent value to both businesses and consumers, you build it. And if you have that PMF, that product market fit, they come and you watch it sail. And that was really exciting to me to watch that in my clients. And so I kind of put out into the universe, should I ever align, that's where I would lean in. And so it wasn't an active manifestation. It was more of, I want to lead something of infinite scale. And so kind of fast forward to this inception moment of Honeyjar. This is April of 2025. And the world, it's the year of the agent. Everyone's talking about agents, like LLMs. We're all doing stuff in LLMs. And I just started to notice how no one was tending to our app layer, right, on top of these LLMs, and how comms folks, being the incredible writers we are, being inquisitive, being strategic, we're using these tools, but we're finding things like hallucinations. We're finding things like security concerns. We're finding things like just really, like I would call it like the snorkeler of workflows versus the scuba diver. Like there weren't a lot of customizations for how we'd want to work. And that got me kind of excited because I thought, well, if they're already 80% on AI, but these garden variety models are never going to go the extra 20%. Like, I know where the bodies are buried. I know how to format a press release like the best of them. Like, let me train these agents. Like, let me play with this. And so I started the vibe coding journey on it. And then I started to kind of put together the story of how this business, this platform could essentially serve an underserved market in a moment when comms is more important than ever as we augment everything else, like the orators of relationship, of strategy, of judgment. I mean, our seat at the table is now, I want to give this field an incredible tool. And so that's really, where it kind of came from. And then there's a lot more to it, obviously. But
love it. So very quick question, then a second question. The question is, what were you vibe coding on? Like, what did you do to build these? What tools were you using to code?
Yeah, enter unpaid plugs, lovable. So this, and when I was doing my vibe coding, and the story here was I was actually out with my napkin idea. So I'd sized the market. I had essentially developed the entire product spec. Pretty much had given myself an MBA by using LLMs to kind of answer for things like how to do forecasts and P&Ls and looking at attrition rates, all of this. And so I had the story, I had the VC package. I knew to do this right. I didn't want to just build another tool. I wanted to build an operating system for comms teams. And so I was going to need some VC money to do that. And so I started the raise in May. And I thought, well, I've been working in venture. I know everybody. I know comms. I'm the right founder. They're totally going to get it. And I heard time and time again, doubts in the role and doubts in the market size and the need for our, for us to have a tech solution that was venture investable. And I was telling the story just like I'm telling it to you over and over and over again. But the game really changed when in one manic July evening, I started and spent 72 hours. I was like, I'm going to build the damn thing. Like, I'm going to show them exactly what it is. And I'm going to show agencies exactly what it is. And then I'm going to tell the agencies to talk to the VC. And then I'm going to talk to founders who are trying to go direct. And I'm going to say, do you think you could go direct with this? So it was in vibe coding what the product would exactly look like, a prototype process that would have taken months if I had hired engineers, that the dominoes started to fall and things started changing really quickly for us. And so I was leading internal comms at a couple of other Andreessen companies. And so over the years, I stayed in touch with her, and I went to lead marketing and communications for a company out of Santa Barbara called Appeal Sciences, which became quite a kind of a glowing brand star in the Andreessen portfolio when biotech and the planet, when we cared about those things.
Back in the day.
No. Back when we really wanted the planet to survive, and we wanted, that was So I was at the helm of that brand, and she was on the team there. So when I had the idea for Honeyjar, I sent Margaret this long, winding voice note on text. I was just so inspired and spun up, and I thought, here's my hero. She's gonna love this, And so I dropped this voice note, and I get a response by text, and it says, "Terrible idea." And I thought, okay, all right, that's fair. But I died. Died. I was like, okay, maybe I need to examine this. And so I told my co-founder, and we were like, could it be this? Could it be that? Is it this? Is it that? And we just were like, no, that's not it. I started to think maybe my hero had lost her touch because we couldn't find a reason this was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And this is December 2024. Anyway, I was still kind of working up the muster to get back to her and to try to clarify, well, what was your feedback? What can I learn from you? Like what? And she shot me a text before I had a chance to do that said, oh, wait, sorry, I meant terrible idea to your previous text about taking on that client. This idea, it's a great one. I'll invest.
Wow.
And so that was kind of the start. And so Margaret was the first to invest in Honeyjar.
That is an amazing story. I love it.
I don't think I really told her that either. So I got to
And Margaret is a stone cold badass. So
badass.
Her words have gravitas for sure. So good for you. That's a really cool story.
As one more thing I'll say, it gave me more conviction in what we were doing though, because here I had, comms incarnate, telling me that this was a bad idea. And it forced me to kill my baby and to really, and I came out of it feeling like, no, I actually don't agree with her. And so it actually strengthened. And I think it gave me something that I needed going into the VC process, which is just taking bullets left and right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I have just a purely random brand question because I love brand things. Why did you name it Honeyjar? What's the evolution of that?
I love this. Okay, so the truth is when you're trying to get out with applied AI in the time of AI, you're hurting for finding a URL. And so we went through the animal kingdom, but we landed on Honeyjar. We were like bees, Honeyjar, something in there. And so then we started working with this amazing brand firm, Fuzzco, to build our initial identity and to kind of get us to market. And the lead creative dude goes, wow, the name, it just makes so much sense. The waggle dance of bees, they're the most complex communicators in nature. And so the thing is this, bees, when they're flying through the air and they're kind of out on their missions to pollinate and to kind of go back to the hive, they are doing a nonverbal communication dance called the waggle. It's actually a very scientific kind of way to code time and space. And a bee will not follow another bee unless it has influence. And so it's a really precipitous dance that they do to communicate and to drive outcomes. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what comms people do. We work like kind of together in a swarm, in a team to drive toward these really big outcomes. And influence is the name of the game, and even how we connect with each other on teams. And so we brought the waggle dance into lots of aspects of our identity, and we're fully on the Honeyjar train now. And it has nothing to do with the URL. We would have found that anyway.
I love that story. Classic communicator tells like really good story. That's awesome. I guess bees have waggles and humans have swagger. Right? Maybe that's what it is. Swagger.
Waggles. Yeah.
The swagger.
All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty here, because I think a lot of people are going to wonder like, all right, so this is cool. You got a great tool. It's an operating system for comms. You want infinite scale. This sounds exciting as hell. I could be a one-person shop and basically have 11 clients because I have Honeyjar now. So what happens to the PR agencies, the comms teams writ large, if your offering is successful in the sense that people can sort of replicate themselves at scale? What what fate befalls the industry? What are you trying to do to the industry?
Are you killing Perry's business is what Perry wants.
No, I'm trying to help us keep that seat at the table that we're just now in, I'd say, more of a cultural movement kind of way claiming. And what I mean by that is we need to be honest with ourselves. When you look at the work of comms, and there have been studies done on this, and we can even just ask ourselves, like, where time goes. Like 60% of the time that we do to kind of tee things up and get to an outcome, we would call this the mechanics of comms. This is the content creation. This is the finding of the right journalist. This is the prepping of the rationale to go to the client before we pitch that. Like, this is the mechanics of comms. Like, that part, like, that's not why agencies get hired. That's not why you bring in in-house teams. No, you bring in agencies and in-house teams for strategy, judgment, and relationship. And like those components, or the storytelling, the strategic storytelling components of what we do, that's why, we're making the big bucks. According to BI, we're now the highest paid job. I've yet to see it. But anyway, that's why. So we can't touch that stuff. AI can't do that stuff. That's innately human. That those are the human parts of the profession. And really, like, the way I view this is, like, I want to give you the ability to spend more time there. I mean, that's what we're on a mission to do. We tried to do this for ourselves. And before we started Honeyjar, we were thinking, let's become a super agency, right? Like, let me make my agency model more scalable, because instead of 5 clients and 5 subcontractors, maybe we can get that to 10. Maybe we can operationalize this. So that's the dream. The view that I have for the future is that, and it will require innovation. Agencies who are addicted to the billable hour, it's not going to work. Like, you have to.
They're already dead. They're dead in the water.
Yeah. Like, we're not, we're a part of the tide that washes that away, but that's not us. That's just, frankly, a lack of innovation and creativity for where things are going. But the future is agency teams backed by agents that handle the mechanics, and that's it. So the humans can go and do the parts of the job that we're
okay. Okay, that makes sense. I'm not pushing back in any way on that. I think it's really cool. I think it's aspirational. I think it's also achievable. Here's where my pushback comes in, or at least my probing question comes in, which is, if strategy is going to be where we earn our bread and butter, right, the big bucks as we supposedly make, what happens to little bright-eyed Bobby and Susie when they come out of college, when they don't have a strategic bone in their body? What happens to that whole layer of folks for that first 5-6 years that they typically would be learning? Go ahead.
That I think that they're going to apply for VP jobs at Jawbone is what I think.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna keep in touch, kid.
Keep in touch.
All right. I was just thinking of you as Perry was saying that, like little you out of college being like,
God. Well, I was always kind of insane. Now I want to answer your question. So like the first job I had at college doesn't exist anymore. So I was an account coordinator at Ketchum. And yeah, I was kind of a ballsy one there too. There were no jobs. It's 2009. I walked in with a resume and I was like, please, informational interview. And they gave me a chance. And in that job, here's what I did, because I almost got fired because I didn't want to do it. I had to do billing reports. I was doing faxes. I would put nuts on the table for when the clients would come in.
I had to actually clip articles in a closet with scissors.
In a closet.
In a closet.
I did that on the floor in my cubicle, and I had them all like laid out. It was like,
on the floor too. I mean, imagine asking an employee to go sit on the floor and do their work. Like, amazing.
Those were the days. I would prep agendas for calls. I would prep action items. Everything I just named outside of the nuts on the table part of my role.
Don't put your nuts on the table.
100% gone. And like, that's just that was before Honeyjar came in. I mean, we have call transcript notes. We have like, different clipping service. That's gone. So what happens? And we've spent some time thinking about this, like, what would Michelle go and do? Well, first off, and I know this is an area that is of hot discussion right now, but I went to Arizona State University, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. I should have had, this generation should have tools so that they are coming into workforce already at robot wrangler supreme level.
Yeah, back then, I have this conversation every podcast. Yeah, we totally agree.
Like, and so, that's kind of step one, because you can't see any upside for junior level work if not only have the jobs fundamentally changed, but they're not coming into the workforce with a higher level of skill around technology. Like that is asking our young people to fail.
They also come in with, if to your point, if they come in as robot wranglers, then they come in with expertise that the organization doesn't have. So you're not just starting at the bottom. Like you are, it is a joint knowledge transfer going on, win-win.
But the problem is that the rank and file coming out of college is not going to be a robot wrangler, in large part because many universities look askance at the idea of people getting well versed on AI because they're cheating the system. They're basically gaming the education.
Is that
piece.
still true? Or are colleges and universities starting to embrace that? Like they need.
I think it's a mixed bag. I think that there are certain programs and certain colleges that sort of celebrate these tools and integrate them very well into their curriculum. But I think that there are others, and probably the vast majority. Think of the sweeping colleges across Middle America that haven't kind of touched the sophisticated, corners of the country. I think there's a whole lot of resistance against it. I think there's a lot of people that look at it as kind of witchcraft as it relates to education. And so I think to distill my feeling on it, I think there's going to be a number, and it's probably going to be a small elite number of people coming out of schools, out of really good schools, that have this robot wrangling ability that can instantly plug in and then kind of help get the organization they join up to a better, higher, more sophisticated level of operational savviness. But I think there's going to be a whole metric shit ton of average Joes coming out of average colleges that just don't have the chops, and they're going to find themselves working at retail places until retail places close. That's going to be the reality.
I mean, I think that is the reality. And I think we need to have the hard conversations about this without being like, but it's going to be fine. Like there's going to be carnage here. Like, I don't think there will be as many opportunities for junior level professionals, period. And that's not a hot take. That's happening across the commercial world. I do think though, like outside of, universities kind of stepping up and providing access to technology tools, anybody can vibe code. Like anybody can be a tech bro now. And so message to all the young comms professionals, like get in Claude code, go make some agents, like get curious, find a friend who wants to lead you through it. Hey, if you reach out and email me, like we can build some agents together. Like just lean into that, because all the agencies that we're rolling out with now, I kid you not, we get on the phone and it's some senior guy or girl. And then they're always like, well, let me just see if I can get Jimmy or so-and-so on the call too. And that individual that comes to the call isn't a day over 25. And is like helping decision maker figure out if Honeyjar is a good idea. And like, they're the ones that are like helping in this transformation. So
they're the ones who are going to use the tool too, right? Like the super senior people. I mean, I'm sure there will be some like me, I would use the shit out of your tool, but there are some who are just going to outsource that to the more junior people, right? And just say, I want you to drive these outcomes, use the tool. But to your point about like learning and I would hire somebody on the spot if they were like, look at this cool thing that I vibe coded to solve one of your problems, right? Like that is the ultimate show up at a interview. And to your other point, it's not that hard. Anybody can do it. I vibe coded a whole event app the other night because my mom is doing a volunteer event and was like, how could we make this better? It's so awesome. And it's something that Frank, thank you. Frankly, like, the organizations should provide, because if I can do it myself in 4 hours in one night, the organization should do it. But like, if I went into an interview with them, I guarantee you they'd be like, oh, well, shit. Not only do you have good ideas, you know how to implement them, right? Like you can build it. And I just think we're in such a different world where it used to be like your resume and what college you went to and whatever, all these other things mattered, who your recommendations are. Now you can show your work and blow somebody's mind. And that's not going to, the window for that is not very big. Like that's only going to be for like the next year, right? Like
now, exactly. Like I have an internal comms, good friend of mine who this just played out. She went for a job for another internal comms role, 7,000 applicants. And they even had this webinar where all the candidates kind of had to come and like dog eat dog. It was very like, what's going on in recruiting?
That's creepy.
She showed up to the call with this custom vibe coded portfolio website thing. And like, they were so excited. They flew her to their headquarters, which I won't say where because it'll give away the company. But it was amazing. And it was because, and they were just so like, oh my God, a comms person just vibe coded this.
It's crazy. So you worked at Shift, I worked at Shift. I had to do full web redesigns of Shift communications 2 different times. And in that process, it's the most soul-sucking, nightmarish situation to have to do a full web design before the tools we have today. It would take literally months and months. It cost 20 to 50 grand. And you had to get all the stakeholders of your whole entire agency involved to agree on a bunch of shit, give you material. It just was a nightmare. 2 days ago, I was talking to Becca about like just what tools she vibe codes with or whatever. She said Lovable. I rebuilt my entire website using Lovable in 1 day. And I have like a couple things to add to it, but like I'm basically done. And I'm technically illiterate when it comes to coding and all that kind of stuff. But I did it in a day, built my website, and it took me months and 50 grand each time I did it for Shift. What the hell time to be alive?
This episode sponsored by Lovable. Just kidding.
I mean, like, I love you guys.
You do. I mean, I'm going to a dinner with them later this month, like with the founder and like head of marketing or something. And I'm like, I just want to fangirl. Now, I never do that. Like, there's only a couple tools where I feel like this tool has legitimately changed my ability to do my job and wow people. And that there is no price you can put on that. So,
I mean, can you imagine? Like, so here I am an AI founder.
Yeah.
And a woman. Whoa. And I was
a comms lady. Like, you can't forget that, you know?
Someone gave me a couple $1 million to go do a thing. Yeah. Like, that doesn't happen before 2025, because what happened before 2025 was technical ownership, product ownership was the premium. Now it's distribution. And so, their view on me is I have the market, I have the access, and I have the know-how and insight into the product, but building and engineering talent is no longer the differentiator. Like in the VC process, this was very telling. I mean, the questions I didn't get were, well, what's your engineering plan? Or, show me all your engineers. Like, It was like, okay, cool. The product works. And like, you have a wait list with 10,000 people on it.
You know what else I think is interesting? There is this anxiety, right, in the venture world about investing in apps that just sit on top of an LLM, right? Because like, what if the LLM decides to create a version that then makes your company obsolete, which has been happening over the last 2 years, like every day.
Yeah, technology isn't the moat.
Right, exactly. But I think because your market is small enough that like, it's not healthcare, right? It's not legal. It's comms, which is no one's ever given a shit about us. We're niche and whatever. So that Anthropic and ChatGPT are not going to focus on this community. You are, and that does give you a moat. I feel like because
not so fast, Becca, because tomorrow I'm rolling out something called Cookie Jar, which is direct competitor to
And I'm not saying that will always be true, but I think given all of the pieces that need to go into what you're building, any of those LLMs will only ever capture a part of it, even if they try to build. So I think, I don't know, from that perspective, it's almost like a good thing that the market is underserved and smaller because people give less shits and your competition will be smaller.
Thanks for totally getting it. I'd say the other side of that is, there are tons of questions around like, well, what if Claude can do this? And to what I say is like, we love Claude. We use that. Yeah. We are an aggregator of LLMs.
They are helping us do this.
4 of them. Yeah. And so like, if you love writing tools in Claude, cool. We did too. So we made that the lead LLM in our content creation tool. And so there is a huge, who knows where this is all going, right? But in terms of moat ability, being an aggregator of data sources and LLMs is in itself defensible because Claude is not going to stack Gemini, LexisNexis, Grok, and a bunch of others. Like they can't do that. So like our ability to be at the application layer and to aggregate so many different data sources, is a strength not only for defensibility, but also for our users who are trying to decide, do I buy a professional seat over here or over here, over here? We're like, hey, just come to the party. We use all 4 LLMs. And also you can build your own agents inside if you want to do something custom. So
that's what I think makes it really cool. It's like, it's not just sitting on top and you're using the LLMs. It's like, you're also able to build your own agents within that. So it's still customizable in its own way, which I think is very cool. So you're creating a tool based on other tools, but it becomes a platform in its own right.
Yeah, when we get you in next week, you'll see it comes with preloads. So we've made some assumptions around the fact that finding media targets, finding podcasts, doing visibility in events and speaking calendars, doing awards, like we've made some assumptions, and those are kind of our preloaded workflows. But you're also able to customize. So let's say that you're an agency that has a standard operating procedure around how you do new business pitches. Cool. Build that inside of a context-aware client space that, you assume you're going to close that client, start with the new business pitch, build their media list, and you show that to them. Show them how prepared you are to take. Yeah. Like that's one customization opportunity that some agencies are using. So it's just, we want it to be both what you need off the shelf, but also flexible enough to kind of fit the various ways that comms teams work.
So just a quick pivot back to the college thing that we were talking about, and like the sort of gap that everybody is worried about, not just in comms, but everybody's worried about the young people coming out of college. What are they going to do? It might be interesting for you, and just a spitballing, do with this what you will, but it might be interesting as you get settled in and launch and do all that kind of stuff to extend almost like a hook or an olive branch into academia, as under the auspices of, look, we don't want this profession to die. We want it to be strong forever. And in keeping with that spirit, we want to arm, communication school or J school, whatever, with the tools to get smart about AI while they're in school. So maybe there's like an extension you could reduce cost or some easy access thing where they can tinker around in school, like as part of their curricula, to get sticky with the tools that you already have, which then they become longer term customers, or I don't know, something to think about.
I've got an idea, and maybe it's a little easier because we've started to reach out to universities. We've seen some of them on our wait list. So there's some very prominent universities that have expressed interest, and we're kind of working our way there. And in terms of the fastest way to get this to, young and emerging comms pros today would be throw up a promo code, and if you can show me you have an EDU email, we'll get you in.
Boom. Love it.
Because at the end of the day, the thing that's so magical about this is like, we're not sitting here saying, let me lock you into a 12-month contract.
Yeah.
No, this is like a subscription business, and that if you're not happy, like you can leave. And so because of that flexibility, we can extend things like trials and campaigns where we give something away for free. So I love that, Perry, and you have my commitment that we'll launch a promo code for .edu emails.
That's really cool. I could picture that being like a really cool Reddit post that would go crazy, especially in the PR community. You know what I mean?
Doing comms, talking about comms. Love it.
I also just feel like because there aren't other tools, like it's got to be sticky for people. Like they try it, either they like it or they don't. Like either they see value or they don't. You know what I mean? And if they do see value, like clearly they're going to pay for it, because like where else are they going to go? They're going to go to build their own thing. That's their only other option. So from a giving people trials perspective, I can only see upside for you generally.
So let me put you on the spot a little bit. You can answer this in any artful dodge way you want to. So let's suppose Honeyjar takes off. You are crushing it. You're getting subscriptions hand over fist. Great. Agencies are clamoring, beating down the doors.
No problems.
The university ecosystem is enamored. They're inviting you and your team to speak in front of their auditoriums. You're on fire. What's the outcome for you? Are you going to get acquired by like a Cision type group? Like what's the exit?
I don't know. Well, we want to be able to be a sustainable company that controls is what I advise myself to say. But we're on an off the record kind of, or like, what is this, on the record? We can talk a little bit more candidly, because the reality is I wasn't put on this planet to build PR tools. Like, prior to what I'm doing here, I was supporting climate tech companies because I believed that they were the ones that through the private sector were going to kind of get things moving in a better direction. I felt a lot of passion there. I think the passion I have here is very much for the profession and the field and for all my friends in the game, and wanting to deliver something that just makes their everyday better, or for the freelancers and the fractional pros, like allows them to take on that extra client or two. That's material income for you and your family. Like, I know what a big deal it was when you went from like 2 clients to 3 without increasing your time. Like, that's That's a dream come true for small and micro shops, which make up 60% of the market.
Yeah.
So I want to see that through. And also, like, we're a VC business. We want to create an amazing outcome for everyone involved. But where that path goes, I'm flexible. I also feel really passionate about that, where that goes from this is, I'm kind of bringing myself into some hot topics, but from an integrity and values perspective. So I don't want a future where AI agent comms is talking to AI agent media.
No shit.
And so and like when we're building what we're building, so okay, we're building the agent orchestration for comms pros. We're going to bring all the comms pros in wherever you work. You're going to get value. I don't want those agents turning outside of the platform to do the pitches, to spray and pray. We're not enabling any of that in the platform. Like, you can use this to tee yourself up, but you can't use this to have an agent put a press release out. Like, we're not.
It's made to have humans in the loop. Like, it is like a humans in the loop created platform, which I love that, by the way.
Have you guys seen, you probably have seen it on like social, there were two phones that were, two agents on two phone calls, and they both realized after talking that they were both agents.
They speak their own language.
Yeah, and then they just went, oh, fuck it, we're both agents. It was like
ridiculous.
It was the most terrifying thing ever.
Have you seen that social media community of agents?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Harry, don't go look. It's so frightening. They created their own religion after 2 days, and their religion has all these really complex tenets. And they talk about, like, my user, or like, my owner today was very upset that I didn't do something on time. And they're all because we thought that was
like anti-human. It's like an anti-human thing. It's crazy.
I don't know. It's just, there are some.
They talk about humans the way humans talk about cats.
Well, also Claude, didn't the CEO just say that they're not sure? They believe that maybe their bots or that
sentient.
Claude is showing signs of anxiety, like that it's having anxiety. Mm-hmm. Neat.
So this is going back to, like, what's the outcome for Honeyjar? I feel
Way to bring it back to your core message.
Anxiety. Just kidding.
Well, that's actually very true. I mean, my anxiety is high all the time. It's a life force. So when I think about an outcome for us, values and integrity, how the platform will be used, like, I didn't set out to AGI, like, right? I'm an enabler of tools for a specific profession to do a certain thing. But I went to school for journalism. I care about the free press. I'm upset about what's happening. And I want to make sure that AI and our platform never, plays any part in that, other than making comms people's lives better. And ideally, as a downstream function of that, media and journalists too. Now, that said, I would have a lot to say about where the platform went to. And if we were to do any sort of M&A, like, I'd be very heavily involved in the future of this platform.
So
how are you going to price it?
Good.
Yeah, from this to this pricing. So during our early access program, and this has been published, it's $250 a month a user. So for early access users right now, early access means you got on our wait list. So you went to our website, you got on our wait list, and then you got pulled off. You got pulled off the wait list. You were invited to start your free trial, which is 7 days. Like, come in, try it out, and then you convert to paid. Cool news is the vast majority of our users are converting to paid at this point in time, which is exciting. Now, our general public launch, we're going to look at things like usage. So not all users are the same, right? You've got some folks who are using a couple times a week. You've got folks who are using hours every day. And so we're currently doing some exploration around usage-based pricing. So like the lovable model, Becca, which is really like, you keep building, you hit a certain threshold, you pay for those tokens or credits. But this is all, again, I'm bringing you into kind of the hive, so to speak.
The users will dictate ultimately, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And then everything sounds good so far. I think this is really cool. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Everything is cool. What is the thing that you're like, God damn it, I hope that doesn't, like, what's the one thing you're like terrified about as it relates to the launch of this new company?
Ooh. There are lots of things. I think in product in general, your big fear is you build it and they don't come. Like, so the vast majority of products, I'll be a tech bro now, the vast majority of products that are entered into the market, the number one problem is usage. Like, people say they want a thing, and then the thing comes and behavior change is steep. We know this in comms. And so that keeps me up at night. I think the way we mitigate that is, we actually have our own clients, and we have a PR team at Honeyjar, and we dog food it every day. And I ask the team, did anything make you cry today? Of like an exciting moment, because those are the moments where when you have a moment when you're like, oh my God, it did the thing, or it like perfectly pulled this reporter I never would have thought about. Like, you're more likely to come back. And so I'm always constantly scanning our team and the dog fooding efforts we have to figure out, are we creating like, I want to cry because I'm so happy moments? But it does, PR people, we're great about getting on board on certain things, but we move with the trends. And it's going to come down to when we GA and you all come in and you're using it, like, do you experiment and try? Or do you latch on and adopt? And so the go wrong is really, y'all don't stay. That's the reality of any product. And the cool news is we've got lots of shots on goal. And if you get in early, you can tell us what you want. We're shipping product every single day.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you my team will take a look. We will give it a rigorous, kicking of the tires and see where things come down.
I'm stoked. Like, I'm just excited that there's a tool for us that I play with so many tools all the time that I'm like customizing to work for me, that like having one that is supposed to be created to work for me from the get-go sounds like a freaking dream. So I can't wait to try it.
We'd love to get you in that early access.
Okay, I'm mindful of time because the time has just flown by on this podcast. Clearly, if Harry and I are interested in this. But I want to get us to my favorite segment, which is rapid fire questions, where we get to know you a little bit better based on some absolutely random questions. Are you ready?
Wait a second. Have you listened to any of these yet? And if you haven't, that's fine. But have you?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done of course I have. I'm a PR person. I did my background.
Well, I wanted to see if you've already heard some of the insane questions at the very end. It sounds like you may have. So now that changes what I'm going to ask you when
I used Honeyjar to build a briefing document to prepare myself for this podcast.
I love it. I want to see it. Show us the briefing doc. Okay. Question 1. You get to erase one corporate buzzword from existence. What is it?
Okay. Unpopular opinion, might make some people mad. Storyteller and storytelling.
Say
Here's
more.
Why? When you divorce this outcome from the group that's creating it, you continue to perpetuate the confusion. Like that Wall Street Journal article that came out where it's like, companies are now looking for storytellers. Like, cool, but also they're just comms people. And like, we need to name and call things by their name in order for understanding among stakeholders. And so while comms people do storytelling and they are storytellers, I'd like to kind of flip how we discuss this. I think storytelling just creates confusion for everybody, and like it should
I don't like it because I feel like it reminds me of like if somebody was talking about somebody they met in a bar, they'd be like, oh, he was quite the storyteller. Like to me, there's like an implication that he's spinning a yarn, which is not what we're doing.
I also sexy voodoo. It's like, what does that even mean? Like,
I also think that it then, I think, Michelle, to your point, it kind of like makes it so like the comms people don't get the credit they deserve. It's like, you're talking about us, say it's us, because anyone can be a storyteller, right? Like anyone can call themselves a storyteller, but not anyone can call themselves a communications professional. So
can you imagine all of the comms people at the organizations right now that like all the CEOs read that article and they're like, we need to spin up a storyteller role. And like the comms team is like, F you. Like,
well, they can be like, okay, change my title then to, senior manager of storytelling, because senior manager of PR clearly isn't doing it for you. Okay, next question. You are going to give a presentation in front of 50,000 people. What song do you walk out to?
Oh, Gangster's Paradise by Coolio.
Ooh.
Very good.
I'm about that life. No, that's my karaoke song. And I don't know. People think
I love it. And all the millennials will cheer. So there's also that.
Is that what we are? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is what we are. But my kids have recently kind of gotten into Coolio, which I appreciate. So
wild. It's coming around.
I gotta love it. Okay. You have to give a TED Talk on anything but communications. what would it be?
Okay. Raising VC money while being a woman.
Oh, I would for sure sit in on that one.
Like the stat was something like less than 5% of all VC deals last year were women. And
wasn't it like 2% or something? Yeah.
And I get it. And I understand. And there are war stories there. And maybe Ted will have me one day. Once I no longer need VC money, I can piss everybody off.
Did you find that it's, and maybe you don't want to answer this while you're still raising and whatever, but did you find it's easier to work with female VCs?
There are pluses and minuses to that. And we could literally do a whole show.
Yeah.
But the short thing I will say is our lead investor, Heather Hartnett, it was just fantastic because we had that shorthand with each other. And also, there was just a lot of like, you can do this versus the have you done this, which is the difference when you.
That's very true. Also, you've named 2 of your investors so far, and they've both been women. So that was part of where I'm asking. So interesting.
That's true. We've
great sleuthing, Becca.
Yeah, we've got a good hive, very balanced.
Well, they are the queen bees are the bosses in the bee world. So
love it. They're
swaggling. Okay, my last question before Perry's unhinged madness is: you get to use one emoji for the rest of your life. What is it? And it's probably going to be a bee, isn't it? Is it a bee?
No, I mean I've been using the yellow heart like no one's business. It's like in all of our email marketing and whatever. It's kind of annoying, but I would say probably the yellow heart, because you can say a lot while it's still being somewhat professional, but also just a friendly heart, and
it's on brand.
Isn't there legit a Honeyjar emoji?
Yeah, there is. Here's the thing.
And your favorite is the yellow heart?
So as a marketer, Perry, you'll appreciate this. It's kind of not fun to be so on the nose. With the brand. Yeah. So I was I don't want to see bees anywhere. We can see the lines of their waggle, but not the bee itself.
I get you. Don't want to be too literal.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it doesn't stop other people from using it constantly with us.
Fair. Is it my turn, Becca?
It's your turn.
So, Michelle, I have to tell you, there have been some insane questions that I've asked. I'm not giving you one of those. I'm giving you one that I've used the past couple of shows because I like it. I like to hear the process. Some of them, though, are bananas that I've asked. So I've spared you. Would you cut off your pinky? Would you die by getting eaten by a shark? Blah, blah, blah. But you have a chance to publish the novel of your dreams. I don't care whether it's on climate. I don't care whether it's the great American novel. The novel of your dreams that you would be profoundly proud of forever. Do you release it to critical acclaim? Everybody agrees it is the best thing they've read in the past decade, but sales fall flat. It goes out with a whimper. No one really cares to buy it. Or you publish under a nom de plume, which is a fancy way of saying anonymously, and you make a shit ton of money, but no one can know you wrote the book.
Oh, anonymously, hands down. Here's why. I already have an anonymous pen name.
Do you?
Yeah. I have a little poetry Instagram.
I suppose you can't share that name because that would ruin it.
Hell no. But I write little poems on Instagram. Anyway, the reason though is I don't really see myself ever wanting to be authored. I have a lot of discomfort with being my ideas matter so much. Go and pay me money for them. I think it's I don't know, just the difference between a journal and an actual. So anyway, I would definitely keep it anonymous and enjoy the spoils of that.
Hell yeah, you would.
Why not?
Our last guest, I won't tell you who it was, although it was the person who runs corporate comms for PayPal, said that he would not do it anonymously. He would go out there with his name and not make the money because there's no money in the world that would make it worth. I was like, why are you crazy? And Becca and I pressed him. And finally we realized he had an actual price. So if it was 50 million, he would do it. He would take the money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just don't want the anxiety. I hit the front page of Reddit once and I almost had an anxiety attack. I did have one. I was almost the exposure was so uncomfortable. I mean, baby steps. We're on the podcast. I'm getting more used to being in front, but no, I would definitely want an anonymous book, but also why not get the money too?
Yes. Correct answer in my view. Well done.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. Is there anything that you want to plug in addition to or related to Honeyjar?
I'm going to forego my anything else question, but I appreciate that. I think like the bottom line is if you're on the wait list, you're coming off. I will make good on the promise about promo codes if you show me an EDU email. So if you get on the wait list with an EDU email, we'll get back to you. And the promise of getting Crackle started.
That's sweet. So did we just come up with that EDU idea this podcast?
Here, I love it.
Exciting.
I mean, we're just messing around with promo codes today anyway, and I'm like, we're using them for different things. And what you said is like, why wait till the universities make sense of it? I mean, that is
the best growth strategy is to get college kids using your tool, because then when they go to their companies, guess what? They're going to say, do you guys have this
Hell
tool?
yeah. We made news today here, folks. We made news.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
All right.
Thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Oh, go ahead.
You got to ask the PR question. Do you have anything else you'd like to add for our audience before we wrap up?
She said she was going to forgo it.
I said goodbye to that question and then I answered it. So I did.
Okay, then you can just ignore my.
I don't want to answer the question I'm about to answer.
I'm going to just.
All right, everybody. This was so fun. Good luck with the launch. I look forward to seeing what you have to bring to the table, and my team will absolutely take a look at Honeyjar. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Becca. Thanks, Perry.